The cargo bay reeked of burnt metal and death. In the dim red light, a lone human salvager heard something that froze in mid-step, a growl, deep and broken, like thunder trapped inside a dying throat. There she was, a Zenthari warbeast, one of the galaxy's most feared predators, lying twisted and bleeding beside two tiny cubs that whimpered for milk she could no longer give. Her people had abandoned her to die. But the human didn't run. He took a single breath and stepped closer. If you love powerful humanity, hell yeah stories, the kind that prove compassion can change galaxies, hit like and subscribe. Every story here dives deep into what makes us human, even among the stars. And hey, if this moment already has you on edge, share it. Because someone else deserves to feel this chill too. The cargo bay stank of burnt metal and something wise, something alive once. Evan traced paws of the airlock, his gloved palm pressed against the cold bulkhead. He could feel it trembling under him, the heartbeat of a dying station. The Zenthari had abandoned this outpost weeks ago, stripping it clean, leaving only the ghost of war humming through the corridors. He shouldn't have been here. His salvage permit covered civilian wrecks, not military ruins. But that faint distress signal, it wasn't mechanical. It sounded alive, a broken whisper that didn't belong among metal. He stepped through the door. Red emergency lights flickered, painting everything in blood tones. The air was thick, heavy with decay. His boots crunched over shattered glass and something softer. Then he heard it, a low, ragged growl that vibrated straight through his spine. Every instinct screamed to back away. Instead, Evan raised his helmet light, and that's when he saw them, a massive, black-furred creature sprawled in a corner, its breathing ragged, eyes burning like molten gold through the darkness out alone. Beneath her, something moved, small, fragile shapes, cubs. And for the first time in a long while, Evan forgot he was supposed to be afraid. Evan set his pack down and pulled out his multi-tool. The creature's eyes followed every move, wary, exhausted, but still alive. Sparks flashed along the neural implants buried in her spine, each pulse a stab of electric punishment. Whoever had designed these controls knew pain could bend even monsters to obedience. He knelt beside her, close enough to feel the heat of her labored breathing. "This is gonna hurt," he muttered, half to himself. "But it'll stop after that." The scanner's readings were grim. 3 fractured limbs, internal bleeding, malnutrition, and neural trauma from the implants. She shouldn't have survived this long. Evan exhaled and jammed the tool into the primary control port. Sparks erupted. The creature convulsed, muscles seizing, a sound like thunder escaping her throat. He gritted his teeth and twisted, once, twice, until the core dimmed. Then silence. Her body fell limp, trembling. Those golden eyes blinked open, wide and confused. For the first time, she looked at him without hate. Evan worked fast, sealing wounds, splinting limbs, wrapping the tiny cubs in thermal netting. He didn't know her name, her purpose, or she'd kill him when she could stand again. But for now, she was free. The station groaned as if it knew time was running out. Somewhere deep below, a reactor coughed its last breath, shaking dust from the ceilings. Evan glanced at the readouts, pressure dropping fast. He didn't have minutes. He had seconds. "Come on," he muttered, sliding his arms beneath the massive creature's shoulders. She was heavy, too heavy, nearly 200 kilos of muscle and machinery. The grab sled's repulsors whined as it lifted her off the ground, her cubs tucked close in a makeshift sling. As he guided them through the narrow corridor, explosions rumbled behind him. Lights flickered, alarms screamed, metal twisted like it was alive. The warbeast stirred, her claws flexing weakly, eyes half open. She didn't snarl this time. She just watched him, silent, wary, but no longer hostile. A fire door sealed ahead. Evan swore and jammed his cutter into the control panel. Molten sparks showered his visor. The door screeched open just enough for the sled to pass. Behind him, the corridor collapsed into flame ahead, open space, the faint blue glow of his ship waiting like salvation that he didn't look back. Not at the wreck, not at the war, only forward, because somehow he wasn't saving an enemy anymore. The medbay was quiet, except for the soft hum of life support systems. The warbeast lay sedated on the diagnostic bed, her breathing steady for the first time in weeks. The 2 surviving cubs slept beside her, tiny chests rising and falling beneath thermal blankets. Evan sat nearby, staring at the floor, still trying to understand what he'd done. He'd spent years scavenging wrecks, chasing profit, not purpose. But this time, it wasn't about credits. It was about something simpler, something older. She stirred, golden eyes flickering open. For a long, heavy moment, they just looked at each other, predator and prey, human and monster, and somehow neither label fit anymore. Evan smiled faintly. "You're safe now," he whispered. She blinked slowly, her head lowering, almost in acknowledgement. Outside, the derelict station burned itself into silence. Somewhere, across the stars, the Zenthari would learn their weapon had survived and had been saved by a human. And maybe, just maybe, that would change everything. Because in the end, it wasn't strength or fear or fire that set humans apart. It was mercy. And mercy, in the wrong hands, could be the deadliest thing in the galaxy. If that story hit you right in the gut, if you believe humanity's greatest weapon is still compassion, then don't leave yet. Hit like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who loves powerful HFY moments. Because sometimes, saving one creature can rewrite the entire WA.